In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 college basketball games happening on January 31st, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Yale versus Princeton. The Yale Bulldogs, who currently hold an 11-6 overall record and remain undefeated in Ivy League play at 4-0, are set to take on the Princeton Tigers in a highly anticipated matchup on January 31st at the Jadwin Gymnasium. Princeton, boasting a 14-5 overall record and sitting in second place in the Ivy League standings with a 3-1 conference record, will be looking to bounce back after their most recent setback. Yale enters this game riding an impressive 5-game winning streak, their most recent victory being a dominant 84-55 home triumph over their historic rival, the Harvard Crimson, last Saturday. Meanwhile, the Tigers are coming off a tough 85-76 home loss at the hands of the Cornell Big Red on the same day, adding even more urgency to this critical conference showdown. When analyzing performance against the spread, a clear contrast emerges between these two teams. Yale has been highly reliable in this department, posting an impressive 11-5 record against the spread so far this season. On the other hand, Princeton has struggled significantly in this area, managing only a 5-12 record against the spread up to this point. Additionally, advanced metrics from Ken Palm further highlight the disparity between these two squads. The Bulldogs currently hold the 73rd spot in Ken Palm's rankings with a strong +11 net rating, whereas the Tigers are considerably lower at 137th with a much more modest +2.55 net rating. This suggests that the gap between these teams may be even wider than the betting spread implies. Yale has faced some difficulties when playing on the road this season, but despite these struggles, the Bulldogs possess enough talent to find success in this matchup. Their offense has been particularly potent, averaging an impressive 82 points per game, and they should have no trouble putting up a significant number of points in this contest. Meanwhile, Princeton's offensive production has been solid, as they are averaging 77 points per game. However, their defensive shortcomings could prove costly, as they are currently allowing an average of 72 points per game. Given these defensive vulnerabilities, Princeton may find it extremely difficult to slow down Yale's offensive attack, so the Yale Bulldogs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Recent trends in total points also suggest a high-scoring affair. The Tigers have played over the total in 2 of their last 3 games, while the Bulldogs have hit the over in 3 of their last 6 contests. Princeton operates at a moderate pace, ranking 192nd in tempo nationwide, averaging 70.3 possessions per game. Offensively, they score an average of 77 points per game and will be facing a Yale team that has struggled defensively on the road, giving up 78 points per game away from home. On the other side, the Bulldogs play at a slightly faster pace, ranking 124th nationally, averaging 71.6 possessions per game while scoring an average of 82 points per contest. They will be going up against a Princeton defense that has allowed 74.5 points per game when playing at home. These factors all point to a fast-paced, high-scoring game, with both teams contributing enough offensively to surpass the projected total. Additionally, historical trends reinforce this expectation, as 3 of the last 5 matchups between these teams have gone over the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Dayton versus St. Louis. The Dayton Flyers are set to face off against the St. Louis Billikens in an exciting Friday night matchup, and we have you covered with our in-depth Dayton versus St. Louis prediction. Dayton enters this contest following a tough and demoralizing blowout loss against St. Bonaventure, while St. Louis is coming in with momentum after securing an impressive home victory over VCU. This game presents an interesting dynamic as both teams look to establish themselves in the competitive Atlantic 10 Conference. Dayton has exhibited significant inconsistency throughout their Atlantic 10 campaign, struggling to maintain any sense of rhythm, particularly when playing on the road. The Flyers have had a rough time away from their home court, hosting a dismal 1-3 record in conference road games. Their offensive production in away games has been underwhelming, as they are averaging just 67 points per game while simultaneously allowing opponents to score 74 points per game. One of Dayton's biggest issues has been their lack of depth, as the team has not received much production from its bench players. Additionally, their defense has been porous, particularly when it comes to defending the three-point line. As a result, the Flyers have struggled to cover the spread, doing so in just 2 of their 8 Atlantic 10 matchups. On the other hand, St. Louis has been a more well-rounded team and is currently tied for second place in the conference standings. The Billikens are coming off an important win over VCU and have built their success on strong defensive performances. Statistically, they have been among the best defensive teams in the conference, allowing just 64 points per game, the second fewest in the Atlantic 10. Furthermore, they rank first in the conference in both opponents' field goal percentage and three-point percentage, which highlights their ability to disrupt opposing offenses. The Billikens have been playing their best basketball recently and have been dominant at home, boasting an impressive 11-1 record on their home court this season. When both teams are performing at their highest level, Dayton is arguably the more talented squad. However, the Flyers have not been playing at their best, and their struggles have been particularly evident over the last month. They have lost 3 of their last 4 road games, which raises concerns about their ability to compete effectively away from home. Meanwhile, St. Louis appears to be peaking at the right time, having won 7 of their last 9 games. Their recent stretch includes a statement victory over VCU, which proves that they can rise to the occasion against tough competition. With an outstanding 11-1 record at home this season and a roster bolstered by key offseason transfers, the Billikens were expected to have a successful campaign with aspirations of securing an NCAA tournament berth. This game presents a crucial opportunity for them to build momentum heading into the final stretch of the season. A victory here could be the catalyst for a strong finish in February and March. So the St. Louis Billikens to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The under has been a consistent trend for St. Louis this season, hitting in 15 of their 19 games. Dayton's offensive struggles on the road have been a major issue, as they have shot the ball poorly in unfamiliar environments and lack a diverse array of offensive weapons. Scoring 70 points has been a challenge for the Flyers when playing away from home, and they will now be facing the most formidable defensive team in the Atlantic 10. Additionally, Dayton operates at a very slow tempo, ranking 308th in the nation in possessions per game. This methodical style of play often results in lower scoring contests. St. Louis has thrived defensively and has consistently made it difficult for opponents to generate quality shot opportunities. Although the Billikens have performed well offensively this season, they are averaging only 70 points per game and have struggled with efficiency from beyond the arc, ranking second to last in the Atlantic 10 in three-point shooting percentage. The under has hit in 21 of the Billikens' last 32 games, including a 15-4 mark this season. According to Haslametrics, St. Louis leads the nation in defensive momentum but ranks 316th in offensive momentum, further illustrating their identity as a defense-first team. Additionally, their consistency ranking is 295th, which suggests that their offensive production fluctuates from game to game. Dayton, meanwhile, ranks 265th in offensive momentum and 305th in consistency, which reinforces the notion that this contest is unlikely to turn into a high-scoring shootout. Furthermore, the tempo at which these teams play indicates a slower-paced affair. For KenPom, Dayton ranks 286th in adjusted tempo, while St. Louis is more middle of the pack at 173rd. Neither team commits excessive fouls, ranking 55th and 56th in opponent free throw attempt rate, which limits additional scoring opportunities from the charity stripe. Given these factors, bettors should anticipate a lower-scoring Atlantic 10 battle on Friday night. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Akron versus Kent State. As we head into the weekend, college basketball fans have another exciting lineup of matchups to look forward to, and one of the most intriguing games features a Mid-American Conference showdown between the Akron Zips and the Kent State Golden Flashes. Akron enters this contest with an impressive 15-5 record, demonstrating consistency and dominance throughout the season. Meanwhile, Kent State comes in at 13-7, looking to stay competitive within conference play and defend their home court. Akron has proven to be the more dependable and and well-rounded team, particularly when it comes to conference competition. One of their strongest assets is their proficiency at the free throw line, a crucial factor that often determines close games. This plays well in their favor, as Kent State has shown a tendency to send opponents to the charity stripe with frequent fouls. Additionally, the Zips boast the highest scoring offense in the Mid-American Conference, and this offensive prowess has remained steady even in road matchups. This level of scoring production presents a significant challenge for Kent State, as the Golden Flashes struggle to match Akron's offensive firepower. Kent State's shooting efficiency simply does not measure up to the Zips, making it difficult for them to keep pace on the scoreboard. Furthermore, turnovers have been a recurring issue for Kent State's offense, which could further hinder their ability to generate points and keep up with Akron's relentless attack. Right now, Akron is in peak form, riding an outstanding 8-game winning streak. They have swept through conference play without a blemish, with each of their 8 victories coming by an impressive average margin of 16 points per game. Even more telling, 6 of those 8 wins have been secured by double-digit margins. On the other hand, Kent State has been inconsistent in Mid-American Conference play, holding a 4-4 record and struggling with 3 losses in their last 5 contests leading up to this matchup. Their home court advantage hasn't been particularly strong either, as they hold just a 1-3 record in Mid-American Conference home games this season. While Kent State has shown competitiveness on their home floor with a 6-3 straight-up record, there remains a crucial question: are they truly the better team in this matchup? The way Akron has been performing suggests otherwise. The Zips have secured victories in 9 of their last 10 games and have demonstrated elite offensive execution, including surpassing the 100-point mark in 2 of their last 6 contests. Additionally, Akron has secured 4 road wins this season, showcasing their ability to perform away from home. In contrast, Kent State's inconsistency has been on full display with losses as heavy favorites against Miami, Ohio, and Western Michigan. If the Golden Flashes are unable to keep up with Akron's offensive rhythm, this game has the potential to get out of hand quickly. One key player to watch is Akron's leading scorer, Nate Johnson, who has been particularly dominant in recent games. His scoring ability should propel Akron to yet another victory and extend their win streak to 9 games. So the Akron Zips to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. When it comes to offensive production, the Zips have been nothing short of explosive, averaging over 80 points per game on the road and an even more impressive 89 points per game against Mid-American Conference opponents. They play at one of the fastest tempos in the country and will look to push the pace at every opportunity in this contest. To Kent State's credit, they have demonstrated strong offensive efficiency at home, averaging 78 points per game while shooting 46.3% from the field. Much like Akron, they should have ample opportunities at the free throw line, which could help keep them in the game. Additionally, the Golden Flashes excel in offensive rebounding, allowing them to generate crucial second chance opportunities that could be key to extending possessions and keeping the score competitive. This game presents a fascinating contrast of strengths, as Akron's offensive explosiveness meets Kent State's staunch defensive identity. On the season, the Zips are averaging 84 points per game while conceding 73 points per contest, ranking 230th in defensive efficiency. Meanwhile, Kent State struggles offensively, managing just 70 points per game, but compensates with an elite defense that ranks 20th in Division I, allowing only 64 points per game. Despite Kent State's defensive capabilities, Akron's high-scoring tendencies make it difficult to envision this game staying under the projected total. History also supports a high-scoring affair, as Akron has participated in games surpassing 145 total points in each of their last 7 contests and in 17 of their 20 games this season. While Kent State has played in more low-scoring affairs, the frequency of high-scoring Akron games strongly suggests that this matchup will trend towards another offensive showcase. Furthermore, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over the total, reinforcing the expectation of another high-scoring battle on Friday. Akron will look to dictate the pace, turning this matchup into an up-tempo, fast-paced game that features plenty of scoring from both sides. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Indiana versus Purdue. The Indiana Hoosiers, with a record of 14-7 and 5-5 in the Big Ten, are set to face off against the number 10 ranked Purdue Boilermakers, who have a record of 16-5 and 8-2 in the Big Ten, for another exciting chapter in their rivalry. These two teams squared off twice last season, with Purdue emerging victorious in both matchups, winning by a margin of at least 20 points in each game. Indiana is coming off a heartbreaking home loss to Maryland, where they fell just short, losing 79-70. 78, but managed to cover as 2.5-point underdogs. Meanwhile, Purdue has been in top form, dominating the number 21 Michigan Wolverines in a resounding 91-64 victory, and easily covering the 4.5-point spread as the favorites. As much as we continue to hope that Indiana's roster will come together, it's starting to seem like that may not happen, and the team appears to be a mismatch of talent. They boast two standout big men, but unfortunately, they don't seem to complement each other well on the court. Both Ballo and Renaud would likely start for almost any team in the country individually, yet together, they have struggled to find their rhythm. Neither player is an outside shooter. Renaud has made 3 triples, while Ballo has yet to hit any. Additionally, neither is a playmaker in the post, as neither player has impressive assist numbers. This lack of cohesion has clogged up their offense, and the Hoosiers' offense currently ranks just 63rd in offensive efficiency. In stark contrast, Purdue is a well-oiled machine. Although they no longer have the towering presence of Eddie, the Boilermakers have maintained their offensive strength thanks to the chemistry between Smith, Lawyer, and Kaufman-Wren, who all played together last season. This clear connection has helped them become 7th in the nation in offensive efficiency. Over their last 8 games, Purdue has covered the spread in 7, while Indiana has struggled, losing 4 out of their last 5 outright. This meeting is the first of 2 between these in-state rivals this season. Last year, Purdue won both matchups straight up and against the spread. Once again, the Boilermakers are favored heavily, especially given the Hoosiers' recent downward spiral. After a narrow 3-point loss to Ohio State last week, Purdue quickly rebounded, proving that the defeat was just a fluke by picking up impressive wins over ranked opponents. On the other hand, Indiana's defense has been porous, allowing an alarming 83 points per game over their last 5 contests. While Purdue's offense isn't necessarily the most explosive in the country, their recent performance showed that they can certainly explode when given the right circumstances. For instance, Michigan's defense is far superior to Indiana's, yet they allowed Purdue to score an eye-popping 91 points in their last game. The Boilermakers have been dominant at home, winning their last 4 home games by an average margin of 25 points per game. Indiana, by comparison, has struggled in their last 5 contests, posting a 2-3 against the spread record, while Purdue has gone 4-1 against the spread during the same stretch. So our full game side pick is for the Purdue Boilermakers to win and cover the spread as favorites. In their 2 matchups last season, these teams split their results in terms of the total points, averaging a combined 145.5 points per game. The version of the Hoosiers from last season was far more inefficient on the offensive end, but this year, they've made some key additions that have significantly improved that aspect of their game. Indiana now ranks 108th in tempo according to Ken Palm, which allows them to increase the pace of play when needed. They've been able to score at least 77 points in 6 of their last 9 games. On the other hand, Purdue ranks 286th in tempo but excels at making the most out of their possessions, ranking 6th in adjusted offensive efficiency. Despite taking their time on offense, the Boilermakers have still managed to score at least 79 points in 5 of their last 9 contests. The over has hit in 3 of the last 4 games between these 2 teams. Both of these teams have been trending toward the over recently, and it seems likely that Indiana will struggle to slow down the Boilermakers on their home court. Purdue's offensive scheme remains similar to last season, with Kaufman-Wren now taking over as the primary post scorer, while Smith and Lawyer continue to space the floor with their shooting ability. Purdue's offense ranks 7th in efficiency, while Indiana's defense lags behind, ranking only 68th. Both teams have proven to be more efficient on offense than on defense, according to Ken Palm's advanced analytics, which further supports the likelihood of an over bet. Indiana has gone over in each of their last 4 games, including a game in which they gave up 94 points to Illinois. Purdue, meanwhile, has hit the over in their last 2 games, including putting up 91 points against Michigan. With both teams playing high-scoring basketball recently, this game is expected to be another exciting, high-scoring affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.